promise you. The camera is invisible. There I am. Hello. I'm not dying. I promise you. I'm not dying. I was doing so well at getting here on time. I was doing crazy good, and I got sidetracked by 1 million. It's the first day back for a lot of the crew, so my face does look red. I've got to check the lighting. Hang on. Let me, is that one? Why am I so red? Maybe I'm just red. I've been running around the house, but I'm extremely red for some reason. That shouldn't be on. That should be on. That should do that. Apparently all my camera settings reset itself. Ooh. Inception. Too far, too far. There we go. That's a bit better. I like it when your camera just resets itself, you know. Hello everyone, hello. How are we all doing? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. I know I've been away. I just decided in the end to take a proper break, reset a little bit, chill out a bit. It was really, really good. Really important, just for my own sanity's sake. I was losing the plot by the end of the year. It's been a crazy, 2024 was a crazy year for me. Just lots of changes, so I wanted to start the year a bit fresh-headed. We are currently drinking from this wonderful, wonderful mug that my nan got me. The best tea that you can ever have. It is extraordinarily good, and I have not been able to find it in ages, which is Lapsang Souchang. It's like basically camping while you're drinking tea. It's amazing. So absolutely amazing tea. Of all the things that I got over Christmas, it's the best thing, honestly. When's the free-to-play series starting? It is starting on the 10th of January at 8 p.m. UTC. Time is important. More details will be sent out how you can sign up and how it's all going to work. We got a meeting on Monday to basically plan it all out, so we're going to be talking about it then. But yeah, 10th, so next Friday, basically. Week today. Bit of a shower, thank you so much. Cool, hot, cool. 25 months. Dandabear, 26 months. Some of the OGs here. And also Dandabear, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. Starting the year off super, super strong. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every one of you that has been here since I started streaming. Can you believe, I'm fast approaching 1,000 videos on the channel. Right, 852 at the moment. It's kind of insane. It's kind of insane, honestly. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Any plans to get the HH website up to date, the champion lists? Actually, that's something I've been working on over the break, Matt. I'm trying to basically improve it so that it's much more functional and automatic. You can see some of it already, Matt, in terms of the aura pages. They're all up to date. So I'm just working on adding the filtering for it. So that plus the damage tier lists are coming, and we're also working on relic and gear upgrades for the website. Big upgrades, basically completely rebuilding our gear recommendations, and relic obviously being a new thing has kind of put a bit of a spanner in the works. So it's just all a matter of time before it comes, but definitely it's on. No, I wasn't. I actually set it for 7:30. I'm actually trying to be earlier this year. So last year I started with a New Year's resolution that I'd be on time, and it kind of didn't work. This year we're going to do something similar, but it doesn't officially start till the next stream. And the reason why is over the Christmas period, I was like, I've not rebuilt my work environment in a while. And I was sitting here, and some of the guys in work basically have sit-standing desks. And they also use treadmills to basically, get some steps in throughout the time and all that kind of stuff. Really, really good. Turn this audio down a bit. It's a bit loud, isn't it? It's making weird noises. It's a bit better. So basically what I've decided to do is completely renovate my office space. So right now I've got like a desk here, and I've got another desk, and the PC's over there, and I could literally touch the green screen here. And if you notice, when I lean back sometimes, you'll see I have to put a light behind me because there's just not enough space between this wall and the wall behind me. It creates shadows. So if I don't have the light behind me, it looks terrible on video. So I have no room to move. I couldn't move my chair back at all. So over the Christmas break, I was like, right, it's time to spend some money, unfortunately, but I bought the new Secret Lab desk. I say the Magnus Pro, the one that goes up and down. It's very expensive. It weighs a ton. I haven't got it yet, which is why I'm delayed on my New Year's resolutions, because it's not arrived. But I'm going to basically rip all of this office out, put a brand new desk in, brand new setup, get rid of all the cables. I've got new shelving to put in, new decor to put in. Like, I need to block the window over here. So, yeah, basically, that's why my New Year's resolutions hasn't started till Monday, because I feel like until I've rebuilt my living environment, I can't start the new year afresh. And unfortunately, deliveries the way they were, it just took a bit longer. So I've got that coming Monday, hopefully. How I'm going to get a 68 kilogram desk upstairs on my own, I don't know. Oh yeah, she will. She might even be able to have a cat camera in the room, Joe. I actually might have some space that I can actually put a dedicated cat cam in. Right now, I just don't have any space because everything is just taken up. I just have this. It's quite an awkward shaped room because I got the door there and I got the window there, and then everything else is over here. So I at the moment, I look against this wall and I have no space. I'm going to like rotate myself so I've got all the length of the room. Yeah, exactly. So I've got a treadmill that's already arrived. I've got the new desk. I've got, you know, new keyboard, everything. I'm laying it all out. I've got new like canvas art. I've been busy over the Christmas break, but I've got to somehow get the desk upstairs. And when I mean it's heavy, like it is 68 kilograms out of the box, not in the box, out of the box. I'm like, I got to get that upstairs. It's going to be painful. If I can set the PC up in the room somehow, I would try to live stream build it, but I don't know if I can actually set the PC up whilst trying to build it with the little space that I've got, because the thing is going to be big. And it's the bigger version as well. It's like the 1800, it's like the 1.8 meter desk. I haven't seen the video, no, Mr. Burst Off, but I am pretty hopeful for Raiden 25, so... Laptop stream could be. I mean, I could set up in the corner. It might work, and then you can like see me building it. But we'll see. It's gonna be awkward because I was hoping it would all be here before the weekend, so that I could like build it over the weekend and it wouldn't disrupt work. But it's coming Monday at some point, so I don't know exactly when I'm gonna get time to build it. So yeah, so that's kind of like what I've been up to over the Christmas break. Basically spending a lot of money, but it's kind of worth it. I spend all my time in this office most of the time, and a better working environment is always good for your mental health and stuff. So I just realized that I was constantly putting off going to the gym all the time because I never had time. I was like, well, you know, the treadmill's a great idea. I'm also doing this cool challenge. If Fiction was here, I'd convince him to do it. But well, it was his idea actually. But you can do this thing where you can buy an exercise route. It's run by a company that actually does like proper trekking tours across mountaineering, and you can actually walk the distance it takes you to get to Mount Doom. It's a genius idea. I'm probably going to do it. I'm just I'm waiting for Fiction to lock it in. Might poke him actually. Haven't been able to start yet because I need my treadmill, but. It's very cool. Check this out, right? Check this out, right? You could basically you can do like an exercise where you have to walk 145 miles, which is essentially the route across the Shire, and you hook it up to your like your workout app. And every so often, it'll basically send you some different messages and like parts of the storyline, and then you can get like a little trophy thing with the one ring. Genius idea! It's so clever. And you can just virtually travel. But it's run by like a trekking company. Genius idea. Totally gonna do that. You know, gotta get fit, but it's really cool. There's loads of different challenges. I mean, you can do it like Star Wars. You can like, you know. Walk the Rebel Alliance, the Death Star. There's like Harry Potter ones where you can like do different, like it basically gives you the narrative as you're walking to make it a little bit more interesting. You could do a Game of Thrones one if you want. Beyond the Wall. Very cool, honestly. But obviously, you know, Lord of the Rings, naturally, we're going to do it. So that was really clever. I really think that's a great idea. That's my January motivation. Benzo coming in with 10 gifted now. Wow. Thank you so much, Benzo. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year, Benzo. You'll be delighted to know it seems that Noel and Nick is broken in Clan Boss. What do you mean by broken? I haven't seen the Rohirrim film one. I just haven't had a chance, haven't had time. So... Oh, is it good, Grimace? Oh, that's cool. It is a bit expensive, so it's actually good to know that it's worth doing. I've been having a bit of a debate, by the way, everyone. Because obviously I've got Whispers. You know, we have 2 Whispers. One of them's a +1, and the other one is not. Trying to get Whispers really hard. But I did end up, naturally... getting another Whisper Soul. Shall we just make an arena team of 4 6-star Whispers? Because apparently I can do that. It's quite funny. Her passive is activating in some capacity. I can't remember what her passive does. How could it activate in some capacity? You can't freeze the boss. That seems weird. Is Whisper good for Chimera? I think you have to work really hard. So here's the thing with Chimera. Some of the stuff we're going to look at tonight. It's going to be a shorter stream than normal because I've got a hard cut off at around about 10 tonight. But the thing about Chimera is you don't have to work extremely hard to get a strong max HP damage build, right? You can build a Grisor, a Marius, a Newt, and you can probably get this top chest quite comfortably without having crazy good gear. Because the way the enemy max HP just works in that mode is it's just very easy to get some good damage. And what I mean by very easy is if you just put Newt in with about 200% crit damage and you put Savage on him, he's probably going to do about 40 million damage. Okay, it's not like you need a massively big build to do it. But here's the thing, because of the cap that you have in terms of the way that Feral, Protection, Multipliers, they don't work with enemy max HP in Chimera for some reason, there's actually like a ceiling. It's very hard to push them any further because there's just not many levers you can pull to make it do more damage. You can add more crit damage, that'll give you a bit more. You can put Weaken on, that'll give you a bit more, but that's about it. You can't actually build all these, you know, fancy different things. Like, I've just picked up some new relics today, where I've got, you know, like this. The wearer deals 5% more damage against enemies when full HP. That doesn't work. I mean, obviously it wouldn't work because they need to be full HP, but that doesn't really work in Chimera anyway because I can't multiply my enemy max HP damage. If I look at some of the other ones I've got here, which is things like, where's my gemstones here? If I had things like, where is it? I had one of them. I'm sure I had one of them. Just trying to remember where they are. Maybe I was looking at in the actual market. Maybe that's where I was looking. Relic Index, gemstones. Yeah, so basically like this, right? This boss slayer. This isn't going to work for enemy max HP because it's not going to apply because you can't add it to your bonus. It gets capped. Things like anything here that's going to do any bonus damage is not going to work with enemy max HP. Right? If you counterattack with Acrisia, it's not going to add that 50% because enemy max HP can't handle any forms of secondary sources of multiplicative damage. So what can you do to make it do more damage? You can absolutely add more crit damage. You can absolutely add more weaken. You can drop the enemy's defense. You can use ignore defense. You can't get any benefits from Feral, Protection. Feral's passive doesn't work for you. Anything that gives you more damage while someone is under an effect doesn't work. So what it means is you don't have to work hard to do a lot of good damage with enemy max HP, but you can't exactly push it to the limits. However, if you have a normal damage dealer, not enemy max HP, You have to work a lot harder to get anywhere near enemy max HP, but if you can absolutely blow damage out the water. You see here, like, YYDD in our clan here has got a +4 to Shiro. Is absolutely slaughtering Ultra Nightmare. 250 million. Absolute slaughter with his damage here. Like, my Marius cannot get anywhere near that number. Probably like 150 mil, maybe. Why? Because he can push more stats. You can put Feral in there. You can put Protection. You can put all these other bonuses. All of these relics are going to absolutely make a difference. And when we start getting more of these relics, okay, we might not necessarily get the mythic relics, but you will get some of these gemstones. I've already got 3 mythical circular gemstones. I have this one, I have this one, and I have this one. These add up. They stack. So you might not be able to necessarily get the mythics, but you can absolutely get 2 of them on an Orb of Transfixion, which gives you loads of cool stuff. You know, I've already got one of these Scrolls of Unseen that gives me 2 circular with crit damage speed. I could load that up with 2 of these. It does add up then, right? I can get that 20%. So what I wanted to explore in today's stream was how far off is my current things like Karnage against someone like Marius. And the reason why I'm talking about Karnage specifically is the biggest influence in Chimera that we've got at the moment is we don't have area bonuses. And what I mean by that is we don't have this ignore defense bonus, which we can rely on in places like Hydra and Clan Boss and Curse City and Finite. We don't have this. So because we don't have that, we're automatically facing a lot more damage reduction. And even if you drop the boss under decreased defense and you bring a 20% cruelty and you really work hard, if your champion itself doesn't have ignore defense, it's going to face like 60% ignore defense, a damage reduction. So it's going to lose most of its damage, right? The boss is going to be able to mitigate it. But what's special about Karnage is his alternate form. And he's kind of a bit, I feel like he flies under the radar a little bit, that people don't quite realize how hard he can actually hit because he's going to be able to ignore defense. It's very easy to sustain large amounts of debuffs on Chimera. If you get, say, 5 debuffs, and you basically put him in an ignore defense set, 30%, like Savage Cruel, or you put him in Merciless, 35%, you can hit true damage. True damage is not hard. And when you start doing true damage, and you start adding all of his bonus multipliers, and you really start scaling him up, it becomes a bit crazy. Now, I can show you some simulations that I was running over the Christmas break to kind of give you an idea why I think Karnage could be very good, okay? So, I've got a little calculator that I've been building that is very interesting to look at, okay? So, right now, I'm looking at my Karnage, which has, on his alternate form, about 7,300 attack, call it like this, and he's got 433 accuracy, okay? Critical damage, he's at, let's put it at 262, and then we can basically start making some things, right? Now, here's the thing with Karnage. In his alternate form, every 3 accuracy becomes 1 critical damage. So even though I've only got 262% critical damage, if I put a critical damage buff on him, that goes up by 30%. If I then put increased accuracy buff with his base accuracy at 433, then I get up to 509% critical damage. It's really easy to make yourself have tremendous amounts of critical damage. Okay, so we've got the defense number stacked here. One of the things I was testing was, hey, how much of an impact is losing Newt's 30% defense destruction versus a 20% cruelty? Basically, how much impact is having that missing 10% matter? And surprisingly, it's not that bad. Because one of the biggest things that you're kind of forced into is like, well, if I want to run someone like Marius, I kind of need Newt's destruction. It's not that much of an impact, honestly. I think it's absolutely fine to drop Newt if you can find someone of a better damage dealer and run a 6-star cruelty, and you'll find the impact is about 4 to 5%. It's not too bad. Right now I have a 5-star Marius, so I can apply a 15% defense destruction, right? So it's going to take the boss, the ultimate form, down from 8,000 to 6,808. And we can basically add in some masteries, right? I can add in single out, I can add in bring it down, stoke to fury, methodical. These three here are pretty much standard. Then we can just add weaken, and I can just give him 4 protection buffs. Nothing else, okay? Nothing else. No crushing rend. You don't need crushing rend. I actually think crushing rend is a waste on Marius, on Karnage. I think it's a waste. Anyway, so what do? We can put in the multiplier. He has a 1.8. Now, the way that the multiplier works for Marius, for Karnage here, is the accuracy bonus increases the attack multiplier. Okay, it gets added on into the mix. So when we're looking at the damage here, you'll see what I've basically done is I've said, hey, if we've got an attack buff on, then we need to take the attack value and multiply it by 1.5. Then we just need to add the accuracy into it. Okay, we just add whatever accuracy we've got on top. And that's how we multiply. Okay, it's a total combined. So what does this do then? We don't have any multiplicative bonuses. He has 30% damage on his books. Passive multiplier not there. And we have, you can see what I mean about the damage reduction for the boss, okay? Even if you put a defense debuff, which I've got here, okay? Just a defense debuff, and say like I've got a fully stacked cruelty, the boss is still going to have 70% damage reduction. Ignore defense is your best bet. It is your best bet. Because when you start ignoring defense, it really makes a difference. Like if I was to just put Merciless on, it drops it quite a lot. Quite a lot. Okay, so I'm going to basically say, I'm going to run no debuffs, but I'm going to put him in Merciless. Okay, 35%. I'm going to put him in Merciless. I'm not going to run Helm Smasher. I'm going to put him in Merciless. How much does he hit for? Well, we'd have to deal with a 59% damage reduction. His A1 would be somewhere between 229,000 to 280,000. That's both hits combined. And you would be thinking correctly, well, my Newt can do 1 million on a hit, or Marius can do 1 million on a hit. It's not very impressive. True, it's not, because we're dealing with damage reduction. But here's where his passive comes in. If I sustain a reho, or if I put any sort of form of debuffs, right? You could even run a toxic set. It's pretty easy to stack up to 10 debuffs. Even if I'm running 8 debuffs with Merciless, I'm doing 100% damage reduction, right? I only need, with this setup here, 7 debuffs on the target. So that would be 100%. And the moment it becomes 100%, we're into different figures here. Now he's doing around about 550 to 619,000. I'm pretty sure that's per hit as well. That's combined. But here's the thing. Like I said at the start of this, the thing about Karnage and the thing about non-max HP damage dealers is you can scale with secondary passives and multipliers. This is a very badly, I wouldn't say a badly built Karnage, but it has no soul, right? My Karnage hasn't got a soul. It hasn't got crazy gear on it at the moment. Imagine if I was to basically build it with crazy gear, which was what I had before, which is about 8,000 attack, okay? And I think I had 290% crit damage, okay? And then I went down here and I was like, right, okay, let's actually put Riho in Feral. So that means she's going to put mine 6-star 6 debuffs out, 30% bonus. Let's push it to 5 protected buffs, 25% damage. Let's give him the Wrath Relic, because even though he can only place a few debuffs, you can run Master Seal debuffs. You can get it going a little bit. You only need to place about 6 debuffs or 5 debuffs, give or take, to get it going. So there's a potential opportunity there. So let's put that in. Let's also put in Nature's Wrath, because whilst we're scaling the Relic, we're also scaling Nature's Wrath, 30%. Okay, let's add that in. Then what we do is we go across here and we think, okay, if I was to add a 5-star blessing, I'm not even going to call it a... Let me put this down to a 5-star blessing. I'm not even going to call it a 6-star blessing. 5-star. Well, that will give him basically 900 attack. It will give him a further 90 accuracy, which means he gets more critical damage, right? These numbers together, now we're talking a 1.5 to 1.8 million hits. And this is the difference with Chimera, I think. The more we get more relics, I haven't even included relics here, right? You could easily say, well, okay, I'm going to put on, I mean, this is how crazy it is. If I was to do it properly, the way that I would do it is I would basically, right now, if I could get one, where is it? This is the one I would want. If you could get it, it's really, really hard. But if you could get it, okay, that gives you 2 triangular gemstones. And what you would do is you go and get 2 of these, okay? 2 of these. You deal 50% more damage. Why? Because it stacks. So not only am I'm getting 100% more damage, right? And the thing about Karnage's alternate form is he will permanently counterattack because of his passive effect. There's a 50% chance he'll just counterattack, and it increases for every debuff. You put 5 debuffs out, he permanently counterattacks. So now I can say, well, hang on, he's going to counterattack all the time with 100% more bonus damage. So I can put 100% bonus damage on here. Just straight out. And then I could go and put the boss killer mythical gems and put another 20% damage on. And it would be 20% additive, but multiplicative. So 2 10% add together to get 20%. So let's just put 20% bonus on. Now he's doing 3.6 to 4 million damage. He'll die to Ram, but who cares? Everyone dies to Ram. But this is what I'm hypothesizing. I can't do this with max HP because you cannot get all these bonuses. None of these bonuses down here work on max HP. None of them. None of them work on max HP. So this is the difference. Like, we started my build right now on 5 to 600,000. I can scale it to 3.6 to 4.5 million per hit on a counterattack. And obviously without the counterattack, we're talking 1.8 to 2 million. That challenges max HP. Now, the problem is cool. What they should do is they should allow it, but basically drop the damage down. Because there's no build potential with max HP. It won't hit as hard as Toshiro, Thomas. Like, Toshiro right now is in a world that is unachievable for any other champion. Toshiro right now is probably the best boss killer for clan bosses in the game. And nobody can compete with him. He's just fundamentally too strong. Nobody can actually match Toshiro's damage output. Because he gains all the multipliers that everyone else gains. And he just has so much built-in multiplication of his damage in his own skill set. It's just really hard for anyone to beat a Toshiro. But I think Karnage is a viable alternative if you can build him up to a good level. And that's what I want to hypothesize test. The other thing I want to test is, I was having a conversation with Gremlin Boy about Slayer. And whether or not Slayer or Merciless for Marius is better. Now, you can make an argument that Slayer gives you more than just damage. Because Slayer gives you turn meter and gives you repeat damage. And it's very good for burst situations. But the math kind of suggests that over a longer fight, especially in Chimera, you're losing so much damage if you don't get the Merciless extra 30% chance to reset skills. I don't even think it's better for Hydra based on my math. That's what I want to check. I did a run earlier on auto with Marius in Slayer. And I've done also, I think I've got it somewhere in my saved screenshots, a run that I've done with Marius on Slayer in his current build. Wherever it is, let me have a look. Share X screenshots from December. Where's the best? This one here. So these are the best runs I've done so far in Chimera with my, kind of all-in-one. I am using Noelle. Now, I've got Noelle in a 5-star soul now, because I did go and push extremely hard for her, because I actually think Noelle is probably the best reviver in the game, if you exclude like Marichka's passive and a couple of others. as in like, you know, non-active revivers, I think she's the best reviver in the game. I'm using her a lot at the moment, so I pushed for a 5-star soul. So this is the best I've done so far, and I think the run that I did earlier for Hydra, it's a bit hit and miss with Hydra because it just depends on RNG, but about 571 million. Marius did 304 million damage. Okay, so these are the builds we're comparing against right now. And what I want to do is, I haven't done it yet because I didn't want to, I want to use a free regear to save some of that hard-earned silver. I want to basically rebuild him in the best merciless build I can and see how well he compares. Right now, this is the Marius build we're in. Okay, we're in full absolute Slayer. He's got 261 speed, 410% crit damage, 4.6k defense. If we apply Hydra bonuses, it goes up to 440%, 281. He has got a new relic on him, which is the Scroll of the Unseen. It doesn't really make sense because he can't perfect veil. It requires him to have someone like Duchess. Sometimes it works well with Elva. The only reason why I've got it is 11% crit damage, and I've got some gems on there. These I've picked up today. I picked up another mythical gem. Every time the wearer kills an enemy, I get 10% more damage, and I also deal 5% more damage against enemies with full HP. It just means that upfront burst is really good at the moment. His defense is low because he's in an accuracy chest, because it happens to be a very good one, and I prioritize critical damage because max HP is more valuable on PvE. If I was to build in more PvP, I would have pushed for more defense, but I prioritize PvE, so I need more crit damage because you need to hit harder. How did I lose that last fight? Narcissus got a turn and probably in Stone's gonna just one-shot me. Probably he killed someone, revived, strengthen, and just one-shot. I wasn't really paying attention. Just got a 6-star soul for Marius, best blessing. Probably crushing rend. If you want it in Chimera, absolutely crushing rend. Cruelty is a very close second. Very close second. So we're going to use the optimizer here. We're going to see what we can get. Now, the only downside is, let's just say, yeah, that's cool, whatever. Let's just say my, how do I do this? Hide, set filters. No, I just want to, yeah, there we go. Where is it? So many sets. Merciless. We're not looking great for Merciless. In over 12 months of Cintranos, that's it. That's all I've got. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. I have nothing, basically. None of these things are worth a penny. It's just so bad. It's no, they're not even in the mailbox. That I've looked. I was like, oh, surely I must have some in the mailbox. No, I've got none. It's just bad. I just have nothing. It's the infinite problem of variable sets in 2025. And I'll be honest, if they literally, as part of this new event they've got coming out, I know Pinpoint's coming back, you know, the event dungeon. I haven't really talked about the new event. A lot of people are saying it's Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if it is. I've been out of the loop today. But I know that the event dungeon's coming back, which I always expected. Pinpoint's coming back. If they add more variable sets without finding a solution for these accessories, I will lose my mind, because there is no space right now for more variable sets in this game. Like, there's just no space for me to get accessories. Look what I have to retain because I can't get any. It's really poor. It's really poor. So, you know, this is all I've got, basically. I've got one defense banner, but it's 5-star. It's not worth sacrificing these pieces, right? I've got a really good Slayer piece. So probably, even the rings, I don't think I've got a good one. It's better for me to keep the 5% speed in the Slayer set than it is for me to change out the rings. So the nice thing is we can basically leave the accessories as they are. We can't really find a better build because there just isn't better accessories. And the nice thing about Slayer is that the 1 and 2 piece bonus is actually really, really good. So even if you don't necessarily build up to a 4, a 6, or a 9 piece, just having 1 or 2 pieces of it is quite good damage output for the investment that you do. So, hey Alexium, yeah, we're going to probably try to stream a bit earlier. I gave a bit of an update at the start of the stream with what's been going on, so... Can you show the unique function on the optimizer when you click it? Just yes, I can. Let me go over to the optimizer. So if I do accessories and I go hide unique. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, funny story. Elixium, thanks for finding that bug. Basically, if you reset and you don't define a value in equipped, it's broken. How did I not see that? So just basically tell it all and it'll work. I actually don't like Vargal's buff. And I'll tell you why. I like what they did with Vargal. I don't like what they took away. I don't like the fact they took away the Skull Crown thing. Because I think actually that had a viable gameplay solution for some players in Faction Wars. I know a lot of people say Faction Wars is easy content, but for a lot of new players it's not. And actually if you got Skull Lord, it was a quick and easy way to get that 21 3-star done. Now it's not so quick and easy. Because it's on a 3-turn cooldown. No, always truth. It doesn't. I mean, the ring has got set 6 plus 7% defense. It's not really a good ring for him at all. I just don't have a better one. So... Is he stronger? I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think either of the buffs would make me want to use either champion. Quite frankly, I can't imagine either champion I'd be that excited to actually go use. Like, what have they changed? Let's have a look. I'll just verify it. Just need to read what they changed. Let's see. So Skull Lord. So A1 now, they've basically just made it. They've took away the condition. The A1 is better because you get heal reduction now without having to repeat the attack. That's good. The A2, all it is just irresistible. Don't really care. He's got such high base stats. I don't really care about resistibility. And the A3 is now just irresistibility. And then his ability to place True Fear on any enemy with destroyed max HP is a sheep magnet in arena and otherwise totally useless because True Fear is totally unreliable. And the only other thing then is you get the revive. But it's on a 3-turn cooldown. I just kill him. I don't really understand. Like, the one benefit they've given is the A1. The one thing I don't like is they took away the unique clever thing with Skull Crown. The Skull Dude. Because I think whenever you rebalance a champion, you shouldn't take away something that's like its identity. I think they took away some of his identity by getting rid of that like Skull Lord, Skull Crown. I know it was a bit meme-ish, but it's actually part of the character's identity. I think they could have just kept it there as a passive and then added an active effect. There was no need to take it away. And I think that's the one thing I don't like about it. And I think for... What's the other one? Chimera, who arguably is one of the worst Void Legendaries in the game based on just limited usage. What are we going to get? Like... I don't even think it's a guaranteed decreased speed, is it? So they've basically given a 20% more decreased speed, which is kind of useless, really. And just increased the fear count on the A1, which again is kind of useless because it doesn't happen all the time. The A2 is a 30% turn meter. So they've just basically made it drops turn meter anyway. Okay. I mean, I can get the dude from Doom Tower to do that. Right? What's his name? The really flat dude. The one that blocks revive when, or not so much block revives, but like stuns you when you get a revive. He does that. Then the A3 is basically just a block debuffs. And she's got immunity to CC. I don't really see what her value is. Just kill her. Yeah, like they didn't make her immune to sheep. Had they done that, we'd be talking a different conversation. So all they've done is give her a slightly more consistent A1, a block debuffs, and some turn meter control. For Void Legendary, it's not good enough. Not when we see the level of champions that are coming out now. right? Not when we see the craziness that is coming out at the moment. Like when you see Volcanos and when you see like the Heracles and when you see Teoxes come out, to have rebalances that basically just move them slightly from being totally useless to being a little bit less useless is not enough for me. So what it should do, Elixir, is, say like I was to pick accessories here, and I say all here. If I say hide unique, what it should do is it should exclude any accessory that there is only one of the primary stat, the set of that faction, and I think of the slot. So if I've only got one supersonic HP ring in Dark Elves, it will hide that piece. If I've got 3 of them, it will keep that piece. So it helps you identify the ones where you can't afford to, right? So if I was to show, you can see here, right? It's saying refresh defense ring in dwarves. If I was to reproduce that and say, okay, show me all the dwarves where there's a refresh and the primary stat is defense, there is only one. So that's why it's hiding them. So if I was to hide this right now, it'll hide the ring because there's only one of that type. But there's 2 banners, so it'll keep the banners because it's like, well, you've got a duplicate here, so you can choose to keep one if you want. But the ring, you've only got one of, so I'll hide those away. It'll hide... No, it shouldn't do. Are you filtering with rank, though? It doesn't distinguish between rank 5 and rank 6. So if you basically said, you know, show me filter by rank 5... It'll only show you one if it's rank 5, but you've got a rank 6, or rank 6 and you've got a rank 5. Like, it depends on what other filters you've got working here. On a very basic level, if you reset and you basically say, show me all the equipped accessories and then hide the unique artifacts, you can see it's hiding about 800 of mine. Just keep that. Yeah, it's all about scaling, James. That's what we're going to look at. What's the stream goal today? So what we're going to be focused on, Green, is testing Merciless, Marius, and Carnage in Chimera. Yes, so what we had to do, Reaper, was we had to wipe the Hydra database. So until we actually get back to the rotation and people start recording Hydra, it's not populating those. But what we are trying to do is make it so that when you go to team thing here, we don't have it saying rotation 1, it just says Chimera and it just says Hydra. That's what I need to work on with the team. I haven't had a chance to do it yet because we're preparing for the free-to-play series. But yes, the idea is once you go into this and you find a team, you filter the rotation based on here if you want to. So it either shows you all rotations or you can reduce it down to the different rotations here. Whoa, what the hell is that? The heck? That seems wrong. That just seems like a data input error. There's no way that did 1.3 million. That just seems like a data input. Like, this has gone wrong somewhere. I need to check that one. It's almost like it's picked up the wrong number. Whoa. Like, these are more like it. Oh, yeah, you're right, thank you. I need to delete those. I probably just didn't see it before because I didn't have I haven't looked in a while. I need to delete those, it's a fair point. I actually probably need to cleanse that pretty quickly, so. Yeah, Harima's a very good Newt substitute because she does the same thing as Newt. She destroys the defense. So. So yeah. You had not equipped on. There you go. We updated it Elixium so that it included the equipped status because someone requested it. I think it was Reggie requested it. That if I'm selecting equipped or not equipped, I only want to see the ones that are not equipped, if that makes sense. Like, as in, make the uniqueness based on the status of not equipped. Because I might want to keep the ones and then keep more than one set in addition to the ones I've got equipped, right? I don't want it to show if I've got one equipped and one not equipped. What if you have Harima and 2 newts? Harima can scale harder. There is also affinity issues, exactly. Like, as people have been pointing out, rotation 2, the affinity has changed. Specifically, rotation 2 and 3 are going to be problematic. Because in rotation 1 and 4, one of them is void. In rotation 2 and 3, none of them are void. Which means if you want to maintain neutral or positive affinity, your options become void or the one that isn't negative. So right now, for example, we're in force and it changes to magic, which means I can't pick spirit. Realistically, you shouldn't pick spirit because you're negative affinity on half the forms. You shouldn't pick magic because you're negative affinity to the ultimate form where you're doing the most damage. So really, you're locked to force and void. The next rotation, I think it changes to spirit and force. So you're locked to, I think it's magic. And then the last one is basically spirit and void. So you're locked to void and spirit or magic. So 2 and 3 rotations, you're limited by affinity. 1 and 4, you're not. You do not need cruelty if you have neutral Harima. They work together. So it's automatically switching it to not equipped, but I would like to see the quality of equipped. If you go to cell mode, it automatically switches to not equipped because we haven't got cell mode supporting equipped at the moment. That's something I might need to spend some more time refining, Elixium. Didn't really think about that. That's something that I haven't really thought about. Mainly because we were trying to think about how you can sell from an equipped state if you didn't have inventory space. You can obviously sell while you're equipped, but if you haven't got space to unequip it, it can go wrong. Which is why we haven't done that yet. But that's the problem. It's forcing the not equipped because it doesn't want you to add anything into the sell box that is equipped because it can't guarantee that you can sell it. But that's actually a good point. I'll need to look into that. That's a limitation of the system at the moment. So, how much damage does Ram reflect back to the champion? I think it's like 15 or 20%. Where is it? Oh, I need to be on the other form, that's why. Where is it? God, there's so much wall attacks. 25%. So, right. So, first things first. Let's see what kind of build we can get. Like I said, these accessories he's got are really, really good. Now, I could decide to swap some accessories out, right? If I wanted to, I could see what kind of accessories I've got, like sort it by defense percentage, probably is a good way to do it. Basically only find defense stat. And this would basically give me, you know, the options there. I could decide to not have a defense ring and go for a defense percentage or something, but this is pretty much my options. You can see it's limited. So I could decide to switch to this. It will give me more defense, but I will lose 5% speed. And 5% speed is about 5 speed, 5 or 6 speed, give or take. But I could do it, and it probably would make sense to do it, right? It probably would, but we'll see what it comes up with. Okay, so I'll allow it to pick a ring. And what I've done here is I've basically said, okay, let's go for damage. We'll use everything in my account. We'll do it against a Chimera with 20% cruelty, decreased defense, and weaken. I'm not worried about enemy max HP, it doesn't really work. I'm going to set my speed at 260. I don't want it to be any slower than that. And I'm going to allow it to pick all these things. I'm setting my custom ascension stats. I want it to be crit damage gloves, defense accuracy chest, defense speed boots, defense accuracy on these. Even though I'm not changing the banner, I want those to be the same. These are pretty much already set anyway. And then I want 6 merciless. I've said I want 5 speed, 12 accuracy. Let's see what it can generate. Now, the reason why merciless versus Slayer is an interesting conversation is the enemy max HP Slayer proc doesn't work like we think it should. It doesn't do what it says on the tin. It does reflect some damage back, but it doesn't include all the multiplication bonuses. It should do 100% of the damage that it dealt, which would be 1,000,000 damage. But it doesn't include all the bonus multipliers. I need to do the video that I've been promising to do for 6 months. Finally going through and figuring out what multipliers count towards it and what don't. But certainly crit damage doesn't. Crit damage is not a factor in Slayer. So when I'm doing enemy max HP, I'm getting about 280,000 on Marius versus his 1.2 million hit. So in that situation, the repeating damage doesn't really translate, because if I can get one extra A2 in one battle, I will probably make up in that one whole battle all of those extra Slayer procs in one A3, because one A2, sorry, is like 3 to 4 million. I'm going to do more damage in that one A2 than all of the Slayer procs combined. So if that's the case, and you go for something like this build, which is pretty crazy, you might get a lot of success, right? So here, what are we talking about? So we will go up about 1100 defense. We're going to drop a bit of crit damage, and this should produce more damage. Now, that being said, because of the way enemy max HP works, it might not be the best way to do this. The better way to do it potentially is to, instead of going damage mode, is actually to go balance mode. 1 second. Cat, you done? You ruined your chair. Oh. The cat woke up. She's not gonna like me when I rebuild my office. Exactly, Mark. When you start thinking about the scaling power, it's not so much what you can do right now, it's how far can you push him. You can't push Newt. Newt's going to cap out pretty early on. You can keep pushing to Shiro, Karnage. We're going to look at that in a bit, but first let's do this. Let's test this monstrosity out. So what I was saying is, instead of doing damage mode, and the reason why I'm saying not damage mode, because really the only thing that can modify the bonuses you're getting with the Chimera is crit damage. I actually want a build that has a heavy focus on crit damage, right? I want 100% crit rate, 260 speed, and then I can put a little bit of priority here, but I actually want all of my priority to be in the critical damage, right? That's where I want it to be. Because the difference between 300% crit damage and 400% crit damage is massive. Now, it's going to take longer because it's not a damage mode. It'll be interesting to see if it still produces, right? So it's still producing this as the highest critical damage build that I can get. For some reason, it's putting a bit of this. Let me get rid of that. Take away the defense rating. So it's still actually finding that it can't find a higher one than this at the moment, which is interesting. Because you'd think it would, when it would go balance mode, it would find a better one. Let me just check the... I don't really need this anymore. How do you get 410% crit damage? I have a very inept ability to triple roll, and I've bought every single Slayer pass. It looks like that's the highest I can get. That is the highest I can get. I could consider dropping some speed. Let's just try this out. Does it have a visible impact on critical damage? Potentially. Doesn't really change anything though. It seems to be capping out of this. This one is still 260 speed. We could just try to take it to 240. The cat just decided to walk straight across me. It seems to just want to do 260 speed, which is... It seems to be this is just the best build it can find. There is just not a stronger build on my account. Now, it's a bit crazy to do this because if you look at the gloves, it's so good for He-Man. Like, it's so good attack percent. Like, it would be crazy to put this on defense-based champion. But for a test subject, we can absolutely build it this way. We could just sub out that for a different piece for Newt. So that's what we're going to test. We're going to test this build. It's the best one that I've got. It's going to do a lot more damage, I think. Right? It's already going to do more. Why? Because we've got 5% more ignore defense in this build than we had before. Now, you could make an argument for trying to get some... Like, if I had some Merciless, I would absolutely try and get 9 Merciless. Or I would try and get at least some accessories in Merciless and fit an extra Cruel piece in for 5% more ignore defense. I just don't have better accessories. Interestingly, it is not picking a better ring. It's actually recommending the HP ring. Hey, YST. So interestingly, it's actually saying, hey, you should still pick this. Why? Because the set bonus. It's going to give you speed. So if you want to hit this speed, it's better to go with that. And I'd imagine if I looked at this one, it's still picking it. Look at that. It actually doesn't want me to break the ring. Crazy. I mean, we can force to break the ring by basically picking probably this one here is the best one. Right, let's just try that one. And then we can rerun it, see what it makes a difference of, but it's probably going to recommend the ring again. Oh wait, it didn't change the ring out. That's interesting. Oh, I know why. Because I didn't put any weighting on here. It couldn't actually change the ring because I didn't actually ask it to. Because the ring had there was no stat that I could give the ring. There you go. Because I didn't actually put into the optimizer to say, hey, I want defense, attack, or HP. I said I just want speed at crit rate and critical damage. I can't get that on a ring, so it just leaves the ring empty. So if you ever have a situation like that, if you're optimizing a champion, you haven't put a ring and it never recommends, is because you've actually not asked it for a stat, so it doesn't know which one to pick. Because you haven't prioritized any way, it just picks anything. So now we're getting different results here. Now we're actually going slower. But we got a lot more defense. So if I go back and I basically say... But the thing is about the defense is it doesn't really have any visible impact on the A2. Because I hit cap anyway. So it would only really visibly, like... It would only impact the A1. It doesn't really have an impact on the A2. See, it's recommending that one here. So in terms of the difference, it's 600 defense. It's a lot. From an A1 perspective, it would be, right? If I was to basically go back and run damage mode on an A1, putting it against the boss with 15% cruelty, right? And I was to basically put it at 260 again. Actually, put it 250. It would have a visible impact. Why? Because now we're not using enemy max HP, the defense multiplier. You'll notice it will change the build because defense now has meaning. Doesn't on the A2. The A2, the defense doesn't matter. You hit cap so easily. See how much difference? It's put a lot more emphasis on defense. Now it's saying, hey, you should change this around completely. But that's not going to help me do more damage on the A2. It's actually going to punish me because crit damage is all that matters. So the ring, although it would help me on the A1, it doesn't particularly matter. I can leave it as it is. Right? It doesn't really matter because the moment I change it back to this one, it's going to basically say, hey, just keep the ring. It doesn't really matter. So, also, would you recommend going for higher damage on Chimera, focus on trials? My priority is top chest. Once you've done top chest, aim for 4 billion clash points. If you can hit 4 billion clash points, you can basically get the 8 billion chest in 2 weeks. And the reason why I'm specifically saying 4 billion is what you don't want to do is get to 7.8 billion after you've done your third key. Because now your fourth key is basically wasting everything. Okay, you're not doing any benefit there. You're not resetting it. Or let me correct myself. You don't want to get to 7.8 billion on your fourth key. Because the next time you have 2 keys, you're essentially wasting a key. Because you'll use that 5th key, do a little bit of damage, hit your 8 billion, and then that entire other key is wasted. So what you want to do is try to get on average 2 billion, on average 2 billion per key. Because that way you'll get the 8 billion reset every 4 keys, and every fortnight you'll have a full reset. After that, then you can start focusing on trials. That's how I do it. Does Ninja's passive reset if he dies? No. Only if you change wave, I think. Actually, yeah, only if you change wave does Ninja reset. 4 keys in Chimera, yeah. Basically 2 a week. I'm changing Marius out of Slayer to test Merciless, yes. Honestly, I think this is the best build with this. So we'll try this. Now, I do have a free regear, which is what I've saved this for. So we're going to regear. And where is Marius? Now, I'm going to save his build, naturally. Slayer sets. But what we can do is, let's just check with space. That's okay. That seems okay. Let's enable the free regear and let's equip in game. Now, the only thing is I'm going to need to replace Newt's main ring here. So the only thing we need to check is if we're going to use Newt in the team, which is what I would like to do at the moment. I just need to basically put this back on with a merciless ring. Merciless thing, it's not really a problem. We can just find something that fits. What do I need? Like 13% crit rate. Let's just sort it by crit rate for now. %. Bruh. How much can I afford to lose? I need 10%. Okay, that's fine. 10%. Okay, well, I think we're... locked into probably this one with losing 16 speed. Or we could take that one, but then we would lose crit damage. I think that one's okay. It's a good compromise. That one's pretty wasted on him. Oh, this one's not bad. Oh, that one... oh, it's not enough. Let's go with this one. That'll do. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nice. Okay, that gets him back up to where he needed to be. Great. Bit overcapped, doesn't really matter. Nobody else I'm testing here matters right now, so... we're fine. So, what does that do to Marius's build? That's crit damage, that's great. That's defense, that's perfect. That's defense. We can absolutely just chuck something. That's kind of annoying. Let's just throw one of those in. Beautiful. Oh, look, that can go up. Maybe we get something cool here. Now that we've done that, we have to re-optimize. Because we might find a different build. Oh, it did. It actually did find a different build. Now it's going to want Newt's boots. Is it worth it for that change, though? It's like 1% more crit damage. Not really worth it. It's fine. He's overcapped on crit rate, I think, but it's absolutely fine for what it is. This is a problem. Kind of needs to be speed. It's not the end of the world, though. I mean, if he's a little bit slow, 245. I don't mind that it's got defense %. It's one of those things that sometimes it's not worth switching out because it's good enough. You don't necessarily want to sacrifice too much of it. So, these gloves, by the way... oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Huh. These gloves are gross. They're absolutely disgusting. They're probably the best gloves on my account. How many fragments of the new mythic you at? I'll have a look now. No, I don't have the accessories for 9 out of 9. I have like 5 accessories for Merciless. It's terrible. Could you please explain how Cruelty Mastery works if you have 2 champions with the same team first? If you have 2 champions with it in the first team, first one starting second. Absolutely, Mate. So, what is Cruelty? Cruelty activates an effect called Stat Destruction. That's what I call it. What it basically means is it will take the opposing stat, in this case defense. If a target has 1000 defense, it takes that value, and before you put anything on it, like buffs, debuffs, or any ignore defense effects, it takes that number and it destroys part of it. So depending on the level you're at, it will destroy up to 20% for bosses or 40% for champions. It's incredibly powerful in Arena. 40% defense destruction is really, really strong. What you're working towards is that one goal, destroying stats. Now you can have multiple sources of stat destruction. This song is weird in my head. You can have multiple sources of stat destruction. You can have a newt. Newt does exactly the same thing. It goes in and it says, hey, you've got 1,000 defense. I'm going to destroy, I think it's what, 2.5% or 5% every single time I hit A3. Or something like that. Or is it 3%, I think? Harima does the same thing. Every single time I attack you, I destroy some of your defense. I'm basically destroying all of the same thing, but my sources are different. Now, if you bring 2 cruelty, cruelty can only activate up to a certain value. It has a cap, has a value cap. So if I've got a 1-star cruelty, I can keep hitting it until I reach my ceiling, which in this case is 5% for bosses or 10% for champions. So if I have a 1-star, effectively what I have to do is hit the target 10 times, and make sure you know it's per hit, not per skill. So if I hit something with a 4-hitter, I'll get 4%. If I hit something with a 1-hitter, I'll get 1%. It's per hit that it activates. I have to hit something 10 times. But if I've got 2 champions in the same team with cruelty, well, they're both working towards that goal. Once that target has lost 10%, if it's a champion, I can't do any more with my 1-star champion. But I can with my 5-star. So 5-star can keep going because it can go up to 30%. So what it is doing is it's going, how much is the target lost? It's lost 10%. I can go to 30%. I can keep going. It tracks it on the target itself, not on your champion. So invariably what it means is when you have newts with cruelty or cruelty with newt or anything like that, they're just basically accelerating together. So over a Chimera fight, it's absolutely a waste to have a cruelty with a newt, because Chimera doesn't reset that effect when it changes form. If it goes from ultimate to venom to anything else, it doesn't change form. It simply it remains. But in something like Hydra, Hydra resets. When the Hydra head comes back, you have to start destroying it again. It creates a new version. So in Hydra, it's valuable to have multiple high-ranking cruelties because you can stack it quicker. In Chimera, it's not. It doesn't really pay you. You're basically just wasting a blessing. You could put something like Nature's Wrath. You could put something like Phantom Touch. There's actually no value if you have a newt to bring cruelty, because effectively this is going to be worthless within a couple of A3s on newt, right? By about turn 5, newt's capped it out. It's worthless. It doesn't add any value. If you don't have newt, it's incredibly valuable. That's why they don't stack. Correct. They do stack up in the sense that they're all working towards the same goal. They're all working towards destroying the enemy's defense. It just means that newt can have a ceiling at 30% for bosses, where cruelty is 20%. So cruelty at 6-star will stop. Newt can do an extra 10%. That's the difference. It just doesn't pay you in a long fight to have it, because newt will always outscale the cruelty, so therefore that cruelty blessing gives you nothing for 60 of the 65 turns. You could absolutely, like, you could take this. This would do value to you, because if the boss gets buffs, this works. You can take things like Nature's Wrath, that gives you permanent damage boost. You can take things like Emergency Heal if you wanted to. You could take things like Brimstone, right? There's no point bringing cruelty if you're going to bring newt. It doesn't really do anything. Yeah, they kind of work towards one goal, which is destroying a target's defense. You can have 3 streams of that source, but ultimately you can only destroy one target to a maximum of whatever that thing does. No, I don't have Odin, so... Okay, so we've tested this out now, so we got this. He's not fully maxed out. Like, I could probably just add a bit more defense there, why not? That's pretty cool. That didn't really roll. So I'm missing a little bit of defense, like 160 defense. So he's currently at 5.6k defense, 245 speed, 388% crit damage, because the optimizer didn't count the relic. We haven't added that in just yet. 320 accuracy. This is his mastery setup. I've gone for a Helm Smasher. Helm Smasher is still valuable. I'm not doing true damage, so I should keep it. It'll actually add even more value. I've got this on him at the moment, only because it's got 11% crit damage, and I've also got some bonuses here. These are not going to help me. None of these gemstones are going to help me in Chimera. None of them are. This one wouldn't. Don't place HP burn. These are kind of worthless. Doesn't really help me. This doesn't help me. This doesn't help me. This doesn't really help me. None of these gemstones that I've got help me do more damage. So I've just basically got for other content area. Okay, so let's take it in. Let's see how it goes. One thing to note, by the way, I didn't realize this. They changed the position of rewards on trials. This never used to be mythical eyeballs. That's a bit of a problem for me. So if you've done your run, you're like, I didn't get as many mythical this time. It's because they moved the position. It's really frustrating. I'm at 22. Yeah, Odin's pretty good. It's difficult to make him work, Nathan, but he is very good for Chimera. I mean, he's generally an OP champion, so... I mean, what are you at, Green? It's just RNG. I've done the top chest. The only thing, I missed one nightmare chest. Yeah, they move position when it resets. I didn't realize it. It's pretty bad. 25. I did miss this chest. I got this chest once, which is probably why. But it is RNG. Like, it'll balance out, so... right, so what do I normally do? Because it's changed affinity now, I need to put my team back in, which is Necmo... Marius, Newt, Noel, and there's another one. What's the other champion I use? Riho. Of course it's Riho. Riho's in every team. Where's Riho? One thing I want to do first is just save that. Regroup. Newt is weak affinity. That's the only downside. Newt is weak affinity. That's why I'm looking at other champions, but he's not weak affinity to the most important form, which is ultimate. And when you actually think about it, 55% of the time you're on ultimate form, because it's 7 out of the 13 forms is ultimate. One of the forms you can't do any damage anyway, which is Ram form. So it's really only 10 turns you're not doing damage out of the 65. So it's far more important for you to be strong affinity or neutral affinity on ultimate form than it is for you to be on the other forms. Because most people won't do damage on Ram. I just want to change Necmo's blessing, because Necmo's blessing is total pointless. What are my blessings here? I've got Cruelty, Soul Reap, Brimstone makes sense. This is for Arena. I don't really know what to put him in. 1-star blessing. Where is he? How do we exist without the search bar? Honestly, Necmo. How would you replace Necmo if you have Lamassu or Snick Track? You sacrifice Trials. Lamassu is okay, but you sacrifice Trials. I would not want to sacrifice Ignore Defense, Luo. I would not want to. Unless you're running like some sort of like combo, I would not want to sacrifice Ignore Defense for him. I don't actually know what's good for him. I could just go Aura, I guess. There's actually no blessing that's worth bringing right now. You know, if I had a 6-star Cruelty, if I had him at 6-star, I'd put him in Cruelty and I'd put Marius out at 6-star, but... yeah, I mean, Karnage... You've got to be careful about how squishy he is, right? Because he is squishy in his alternate form. I'm guessing, James, you don't have a soul on him. If you have a 5-star soul on him, he's way tankier. He gets so much raw stats on a 5-star soul, he just doesn't die. But on a dank one, it's pretty bad. Blade Master is the other one I've been exploring as a potential scaler that you can push really, really high. Honestly, I might just run Banner. Just to get more aura. This is nothing better, so... yeah, you need the 5-star soul because it tanks him up a lot. And it depends on the build then, but his base on his alternate form is pretty rough. Right, let's have a look. So Noel goes here. And max HP. Okay, first hits. So what we want to see is a damage comparison first. So the first thing I need to do is just scale up. So we basically need to run a couple of newts. Newt needs to use his A3 3 times, or 4 times, before we know fully exactly how much damage we're going to do. Yeah, he's one of the things that people just think he's not that good at damage, but Karnage's damage, if you scale him, I think is up there. I don't think there are many other champions that will be able to compete. Alright, it's the second one. A1. Ah, damn. It's fine, I can cleanse. Cleanse it off. Do a boost. So my Slayer Marius used to deal about 1.3 million at full cap. Obviously, we're still destroying defense, so we got to wait for that to finish. Don't think he's there yet. I think he's still destroying defense, see? Bum, bum, bum. Getting closer. If I had Feral Riho, honestly, it'd be so much better. So frustrating I don't have Feral Riho. That was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that. It wouldn't help for this team, but it would help generally. I'm going to save that because we're going to change form in a minute. So there's no point. Save that. We'll save that. I will throw that out just to destroy the defense. Okay, so we've fully destroyed the defense now. So we'll be able to do a bit of damage comparisons. Let's first get some trial count here. Okay, he died, whatever. Let's just revive him. What do we need to do here? Place 7 unique debuffs. Why are you under increase axis? So we're not under increase axis yet, so let's just do that. I do need to throw away. Need to do that first. And then throw that out. It's going to come back at me. Speed up. It's annoying. Flat back, 2 debuffs. More debuffs. Now we're probably just going to die for a bit, but it's okay. There's one. I think that's the only one I do on this form. So now it's just like... This is now just Operation Don't Die. But I'm going to die a lot. Because I put decreased defense on, so... And until I put Leech, there's not much I can do. It's a bit frustrating, but it's okay. Because we're going to revive everyone here. He's okay so far. I'm going to heal. Put that out. I'm going to heal here. I should have healed Newt. That was a stupid mistake. That was a mistake. Still haven't been able to put Leech. There's no point right now. I just need to not die this next turn. I'll be fine. Okay, that's okay. We revive. Put decreased speed out. Debuff. Enemy max HP. Enemy max HP. See, I'm doing less damage, basically. Should have healed her, but that's not a problem. So we'll just get another heal out. We're good. Now, handy little thing. I have the Orb of Transfixion on Noelle, so sometimes I can just basically steal that speed buff, which is often handy. But now we're in full damage mode, so what we really want to see is how much is Merciless going to really help us. Merciless is should, theoretically, give us more A2s that we know what to do with. That should be what's happening. Let's cleanse that away. That's why you notice why I never use his A2 often with Newt, because I want Newt to reset his A3. It's not really the same with Marius because he extra turns. There's one of those merciless procs there. So that's what we're trying to achieve, is we really want to get those merciless procs firing. Let's heal up. Max HP, A1. Boom. And Noelle's really great for this, by the way. She's got a block buffs on the A1, which helps you with one of the trials. She's got pretty strong healing. She's got a great AoE revive, increased turn meter, increased speed, a single target cleanse that can help you in the right situation. I think she's a really solid pick. I substituted Elva out, and I find it better. Because you could argue like, oh well, you've got Nekma. Why do you need increased speed? The boss often likes to strip that increased speed. Having a backup increased speed with a block buffs champion is quite valuable. Obviously, Senna is better than everyone else, but, you know, when you don't have a Void Legendary, what are you going to do? There's only so much you can do. Yeah, so we're not hitting less than the Slayer build. But Slayer did have a higher ceiling because I had 400% crit damage. Right, what can we do on this form? We can do this. We can do this. And we can do this. We can do quite a lot. Lion form is always the best one. Let's get decreased speed out. He's alright. He can stay alive for a little bit. Right, now we can basically just heal him. See like how strong that single target heal is. The fear was not ideal, but, you know. Let's just do that to make sure we don't get any more of this. Block buffs. She's a strong single target healer. Okay, can we just stop beating up my Marius? Please. Okay, that did a trial. What are we going to do here? Can't do that one. Damage the camera within 3 of its turns. That was always the awkward one. I forgot about this one. Damage the Chimera while it's under 6 or more debuffs, and your champions are under increased defense. Okay, well, I'm not under increased defense yet, am I? So let's just wait. Cleanse off. Really should stop doing that because I keep placing fear on my champion, and I can never do the stupid increased defense. Twice I did that. Can't do it now because I've got block debuffs, so. Right, can I please have increased defense? Thank you. Okay, it's another trial. This is the problem, right? Nobody can do this trial. I don't think anyone can do this trial. The boss just doesn't hit hard enough, and they've put 2 of the 4, like, they've put 2 of the mythical eyeballs behind something that nobody can do. It just needs to be rescaled. 500,000 damage. The boss doesn't hit hard enough. Even if I put, like, increased attack on the boss, and you just can't do it. Well, normally he would with A2, but I also struggle with buffs on this team. That's the only thing that I've had since I've put Noelle in this team, is this setup here doesn't really stack enough buffs. I need a few more. Now, I could put Newt in a blood shield to basically solve the problem. Really, that's 4 times in this one run that I've done that. But that is the only downside to this team, is I don't have enough unique buffs. But generally, I'm not running this team for trials as much. Can I just stop taking damage? Right, please. I'm running this for damage more than I am running it for trials. So I don't really mind so much that I can't do more than 4. Right, if I can sneak it, great. If not, it's not a problem. Oof, took a bit of a hammer in there. Decrease speed. Heal her up. Enemy max HP. Hey, Chloe. Yeah, Chloe decided to reconfigure her hand over the Christmas period. Not entirely sure why. I think it's just trying to get out of Minecraft. I joke. It's actually really bad. Poor thing. So... Would be funny if they let Berserker be applied to his form. Yeah. I mean, you kind of underselling it a bit, Chloe. You didn't just break 2 fingers. You reconfigured your hand. If we're being truthful about it, there's breaking your fingers, and then there's what you did. Nasty what you did, honestly. It's horrible. Why did you not use A3 online form? Because I was waiting for debuffs, and I was stupid. Basically. He's going to apply increased speed, so it's fine. Don't need to worry about that. Yeah, when you have to put your fingers back where they belong, you know that's pretty bad. Is it worth that? Yeah, it is worth one more turn of that. And that. Then we reset. Right, 3% of the weaken. That's annoying, but don't worry about it. Right, so we're now entering the next form, so I am mindful of not doing block debuffs. Because I do want to take some venom. Oh, we refreshed. That's nice. Okay, okay, we're going to take some debuffs. Didn't give him any buffs, which is nice. Put block buffs. Great. Boost. Shouldn't have done that because I almost killed my champion. Heal up. Enemy max HP in a minute. Boom. Dun, dun, dun. Now, this form really, I can't do much. I shouldn't have done that there, but it's fine. That's why I shouldn't have done that. That's right, I can cleanse that off. One. Newt's like on his deathbed a bit. There we go. Newt's no longer on his deathbed. Just got A1 here. I mean, I'm trying to wait for the debuffs, but I'm just never getting around to them. Because I'm doing the wrong... I'm basically playing it really, really poorly. Because I shouldn't be... Block that. Just waste it. Oh, that's the only downside to this. I made so many mistakes on that last run. There's a possibility I just lose here, but we'll find out. Oh, we got lucky. I kind of need to heal big time, though. That was nasty. I made really, really poor choices on that form because I didn't... I kept putting decreased defense out at the wrong time. So now I'm a bit behind. Because I just took way too many provokes. Can we just get back into a better rhythm? Come on. Okay, nice. Boom, boom, boom. Heal Riho up. Okay, apparently Riho is permanently burning right now. Well, Riho is now permanently on fire for the rest of the run. Yeah, we already did the math on that a couple of, like, before the Christmas break, how crazy you can actually scale her A3 now to basically give you tons and tons of Termia. Right now, Chloe is basically one with the... let's just say not the forces with you. What's the right phrase? Beam me up, Scotty would be the correct way of saying for Chloe's like fingers right now. Bless her. Yeah, it's rough going. Hello, Cat. Hello? Yes? You woke up. Hello. Okay. Cat is awoken. Let's just heal. We're basically just not doing anything here. We're sitting here and we're just going to try and not die. Which I'm failing at because apparently I 3%ed the leech. That's what you want to happen. You absolutely want your Necmo to 3% the leech on the form that you just take tons and tons of damage on. It's precisely what you want. Maybe we can put leech this time. There we go. You heal him up. I have to say, I haven't really noticed a negative affinity problem with Newt so far. Oh, is that why it didn't happen, Darky? There you go. I know there's a reason. Okay, revive. The nice thing is we're going to be transitioning in a much better state than we did last time. Last time we changed form, we just had no life left. Now, the one thing I don't like about not having Lamassu is with Lamassu, you would permanently decrease the boss's accuracy and resistance, which made it a bit easier for you to resist some effects when you put in like auras and different things like that. You don't really get the same benefit. Actually losing 100 resistance and accuracy off the boss is quite significant. It does add up. A1. Hopefully I have Riho's A3 back in a minute. Otherwise I'm in a bit of doo-doo. Oh, I'm in a bit of doo-doo right now. I'm sure we'll be fine. But we kind of need to heal everyone up. Oh! Specifically Noelle. Cat, you are not helping me right now. Alright, we can heal Riho. Excellent. A1. So this is the value of Merciless there, right? I got a 30% proc, which means that I got A2, A3, A2. Where if I had Slayer, it would have been A3, A2, A3, A1, A2. Right, you have to take basically you have to take an extra A1 turn. So that's the value of Merciless. That theoretically, over the fight, he should do a lot more. Now, I will say, I have not done anywhere near the damage I normally do right now on this run. There's still a bit to go, but I normally get around about... like 253 mil. And I'm at 121 at 43. I did misplay some turns, so it's not exactly perfect, but right now I'm not seeing a massive value increase. I want to see how it compares specifically with Marius in terms of his damage potential, but right now we're seeing a little bit of a damage loss. But you can quickly... I made a mistake there. You can quickly scale, so... do that one more time. Just got Hand of Uncreation. Oh, that thing's very, very powerful. Yeah, Hand of Uncreation is a very good one. Now, I will say his A2 is in this build is more consistent. Before, I would be about 1 to 1.3 with Slayer. This is about 1.2 pretty much all the time. Okay. Let's have a better lion form. This is the one that's difficult because you have to do it with under 5 debuffs, and I don't have an awful lot of debuffs. Right, I'm not going to cleanse that. I kept cleansing that incorrectly last time, and it just kept putting me under fear, which is stupid. So I should stop doing that, because that was dumb. The Wearer. I can't remember which one that... What is the Hand of Uncreation? I can't remember what it does. Isn't it the one that reflects something back? How? Good God. Why does he feel like he hits harder all of a sudden? Yeah, I mean, Riho is a god for this kind of stuff, but... Bum, bum, bum. We are skating now. We're starting to see more damage come through, which is nice. Like, I've probably lost quite a lot of damage because I messed up the first run of this form. Because I shouldn't cleanse when I've got not block debuffs. Can we not? Why all of a sudden is he just insanely doing tons and tons of damage? Jeez. Is that worth a revive? Yeah, it's probably fine. Good lord, like... That was crazy crit rate. Anyway. He really hit hard there. The new champion events. I guess we're going to get like another Asgard Divide from the sounds of it. Like from what it looks like. It's going to be a big event. Like we had Monster Hunter last year. I thought it was quite good. I'd be interested to see how it affects the free-to-play. In terms of the free-to-play series. Like it feels like it's going to come with a new login champion, I guess. Because Skeletor ends soon. I should have done it A2 there. That was a mistake. I can cleanse though. Well, it depends on how good the relic is. I don't think I've seen the relic. To be honest, I will probably go a lot harder on the event dungeon this time because pinpoint. I didn't farm enough pinpoint last time. Which is a mistake. I should have done a lot more pinpoint. Wait, what? Exclusive relic from the first event dungeon tomorrow. I thought it wasn't till the 8th that all this stuff is starting. Yeah, it's only on themselves, Green. So if someone tries to do the effect on the character wearing that relic, it won't work. I wasted. That was stupid. I don't want to give it increased speed. Yeah, so it makes the immunity based on the character. I'm not putting any buffs out because the Venom guy is going to steal it. Right, so I'm deliberately going to try not to give it any buffs. But it can hurt. Let's get some healing. I'm going to wait for it to use its A2. We've learned our mistake from last time. I've learned my mistake. Now we'll do stuff. Don't need to do that right now. I 3% did the decrease. 3% did the decreased defense. It 3% did the decreased defense. So now all my damage is going to be significantly reduced. Oh, I did something. What did I do? Did I do that one? I don't have increased attack in this team, so can't do that one. Fun. It feels like 100% some of the times. Honestly. Just keep doing it. Why not? Let's look how much damage I've lost. Absolutely do that. There's the decreased defense. Is back. It's going to strip buffs in a moment. I'm going to be able to cleanse. Oh, you weak hit the decreased speed as well. Necmo is going to take a bit of a hit this time as well because he's weak affinity, so... You can see, like, weak hits. I lost 3 hits there, so... That's probably where a lot of the damage is gone, is Newt is weak hitting a lot, so... He's not able to produce as much damage. What I want to really compare, though, is the Merciless versus Slayer for Marius, because if Marius is not going to get, like, huge amounts of damage gain, it doesn't really pay off to switch the build, because Slayer is better in Arena. I'm pretty confident that Slayer is better in Arena because it's got more burst potential. But in boss potentials, I would suggest that maybe it's not as important, right? Because you want more A2s, you don't want more burst, you want more consistency. But in Arena, Slayer would be absolutely better, so... No, I haven't tried Carnage. We're going to try it after this now. Like I said, I do have a hard lock at about 10, but we should have enough time to test some pretty, just a general build on him. We're still going to do a pretty good damage key here, considering I messed up quite a lot. So I probably lost about 20 million just by messing up. And I've messed up again here, I think. Because... Oh, no, I haven't. Good. Almost did. Now, the only thing with Merciless with Marius, it only counts when you attack. This is Ultra Nightmare. So you don't get the extra turn procs when he does his A3, but you always A1 anyway, so every turn you'll always have a chance to roll the 30%. It just happens to be, if you proc it at the wrong time, it's not going to help you. Right, so right now I should save that because I don't have decreased defense. I probably can get one more A2 out before the end. Make sure I got increased speed for the rest of the fight. Make sure he's got decreased speed for the rest of the fight. Enemy max HP. Enemy max HP. And the fight is over. So, had I got more Merciless, I would be doing more damage. And he's doing about 111 million here. 111 million. That was compared to my best key, where Marius did 155 million. That has surprised me. That has surprised me. That's not even close. Slayer's winning. I am shocked by that. Like, when I say it's not even close, it's not even close. Why Noel? Block buffs A1, increased speed, and an AoE revive. I did lose some damage to RNG, but did I lose 40 million damage? No. And the turn meter is not that crazy. It's only 5%. When I did the math, I forecasted that Merciless should be 36 million damage better over 50 turns. It's not that much different. It's like 40% crit damage. And like I said, it was hitting the same amount. It was hitting about 1 million. That's way worse. Yeah, but Necma's not that important. Honestly, weak affinity and that shouldn't count for an extra 40 million damage loss. When I was predicting that Merciless should be 30 million above, 40 million lower is a lot. Yeah, it's about 12 or 13 A2s I lost. But Merciless should have given me that back on average anyway. Right? Merciless should have given me it back above and beyond Slayer. So if the reason why I'm saying it can't just be bad RNG. The bad RNG should be compensated by the fact that I'm getting 30% chance to proc. I had one 5-turn negative round with with Lion, but that is not anywhere near what I was doing. It's not anywhere near. That's shocking. And keep in mind, I added about 1100 defense back in, so his A1 should compensate a bit as well. The Slayer build was doing a lot more. So that tells me otherwise. It is just one run. I should test it some more. Right, I should test it some more. I want to run it overnight on some auto Hydra runs. Newt absolutely makes sense, right? Because Newt is weak affinity on alternate forms. So you would expect Newt to lose damage on Venom and Lion. Marius is not. So Newt will do less damage. I'm fully expecting Newt to do less damage. I'm comparing literally the fact that Marius went from 150 million to 111 million. 40 million loss on a build that should have actually given me an extra 30 million on top. So in essence, it's like a 70 million swing that I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying I'm surprised, because it's a lot lower, even though he's meant to have Merciless. And the build is pretty close, right? It's 388 versus 410. It's only like 30% crit damage in it, and I added more defense. Okay, I lost 15 speed. Shouldn't make a difference. So, you know, yeah, I think Wallmaster could be better with the 20. I would still try to aim for 6-star cruelty. So that's interesting. Now, the next thing is Karnage. Now, his build right now is good, but it's not crazy. I can make Karnage's build crazy. If I go alternate, A1, configure, let's just put it at 0 defense, because I'll always hit true damage, or do I want to put it up to... Here's the thing with Karnage. You kind of don't want to run ignore defense, because the moment you get to 10 debuffs, you're always doing true damage. But you're not always going to have 10 debuffs. And if you want a bit of, like, gap. So some people can make an argument of go with Karnage, Crushing Rend, because that automatically gives you ignore defense without having to have any debuffs. I would say that's probably the worst option, because Crushing Rend is level specific, whereas gear is not level specific. I don't know. I feel like you need a little bit of basic ignore defense. Certainly for Arena you do. And generally speaking, you kind of don't want to run anything other than A1. His A2 is actually worse damage on alternate form. Right? You really want to build around his A1, because his A2 doesn't hit as hard as his A1, and his A3 hits marginally better than his A1, so you don't really see the benefit of Merciless, because I kind of just want an A1 all the time. Right? And that's all I want to do. So you don't even need, like, Merciless at all. So you could just literally run it as, like, okay, let's go with a Chimera build, All right, let's just pick Chimera Rotation 2 for the sake of accuracy. Go Ultra Nightmare. I'm running like 15% because I'm going to substitute him out for Newt. I'm running Decreased Defense, Weaken, Stats. I kind of want 475 accuracy. Now, he is difficult to get his Nature's Wrath or the Relic going, right? The Relic, you need to do like 3%. I need to do 10 debuffs to get him going. In Hydra, I think is easy. Because in Hydra, you can basically... I'm pretty sure the debuff spreading counts for the debuff placement. I'm pretty sure. And we can test that theory. But in Chimera, you can't debuff spread. So really the only debuff you can do is Seal. Which in itself is a good way to activate bonus damage. But trying to do 10 seals on a 3-turn cooldown is a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward because you can't do block passes. Now you can do block active. He will give you the block active skills for the Venom. And it can't be removed. So that's actually really good for that. So you will get there eventually. Because the debate is, do you put accuracy on him or not? Now, accuracy always helps him for damage. I would say, by the way, if anyone is building him, don't fall into the bait of going offense capstone. Notice how I haven't gone offense capstone. Actually, I've made a mistake. I should go and get the rest of his masteries because I'm losing 10% damage right now. Which I might run quickly in the background while we're optimizing here. I might just run him through and get him to do 10 of these, you know, just get him this, because this is really, really valuable. Don't run this. And the reason why, you don't want War Master. And the reason why I'm saying you don't want War Master is generally boosting your damage is better than War Master. Because this will give you like 70 to 100,000 on most bosses. If I can just boost my base multiplier higher, it's better. You don't want Helm Smasher because you're already doing true damage. You don't really want Giant Slayer because it's like War Master. And then you go, well, I should just ring Flawless. Here's the thing. Take the accuracy bonus because his passive is going to convert 1% for every 3. So if I've got a mastery that gives me 50 accuracy, I'm getting 16.6% crit damage with accuracy multiplier, which is also increasing. So when I put that under an increased accuracy, it's actually 75 accuracy. So I'm actually getting 25% crit damage. So taking this with an accuracy buff gives you more crit damage than taking Flawless. So take this in any situation. In any situation, you take that. Even in Arena, because you want to land debuffs in Arena. I would say in Arena, his alternate form isn't that good. In Arena, his base form is where all his value is at. I never really use him in alternate form unless I've got lots of debuffs and I can block revive. Why? Because this is more valuable. Unremovable debuffs that spread every time I kill someone. This counters Monkey, it counters Marichka, it counters Odin, it counters so many different champions. You can't remove it, can't get rid of it. It counters loads of them. Yes, you have sheep problems. You got to factor in like what happens if I get polymorphed. It's why I use him with Lamassu, because Lamassu gives him the intercept to make sure that he doesn't end up sheeping himself when he does this. Gives him some immunity. But you want to use his base form, because his A1 will keep proccing damage, right? Anytime someone gets attacked, he just keeps counterattacking. He just keeps counterattacking all the time. He just trickles away and starts chipping away at people, and before long they die. So absolutely, Eagle Eye is where you want to go. It gives you the pound for pound best damage option of all the capstones for Carnage. Absolutely 100%. So I'm going to put 475 accuracy because that's what you need for the boss. Again, I'm going to check his gear here. I'm pretty sure I can get some better gear when it's not in stone skin. So let's just go and put attack. Order it by speed. What do we got? Now we do have a Merciless Amulet for Demon Spawn. We can pick. It's not the best, but it's an attack with speed. I've also got this one, which is not bad, but I feel like Merciless is the way to go. Now, Supersonic... Now, if we had Feral, a Feral piece would be very good to add here. But I don't think I have a Feral piece. And we can just check what I got in the inbox. For Demon Spawn. Do we have anything interesting? If a Stone Skin attack ring, I should actually pull that out for him. Crit damage protection. I mean, the thing I should absolutely pull out is that attack ring and Stone Skin for his normal arena build, because I think pretty much at the moment he's in a rubbish ring. Yeah, he's in a rubbish ring right now. Let me see if I can find that. What is that? Inbox 86 days. It is a legendary ring. That is Stone Skin. It's that one. Does it roll well? The answer to the question is... Yeah, it did. It's pretty good. It's actually an improvement. I should switch it in for him. Anyway, so what we got right now is the best we can get. So in terms of gearing... Yeah. Good point. Thank you. In terms of gear, let's swap this. I got a choice, basically. I can either go for pure damage, low speed, or I can go and get the Merciless banner. I'm pretty sure this is going to be better. Amulet-wise, it's kind of hard. Oh, mind you, I should actually... Sorry, wrong. You can absolutely choose accuracy or attack. You can go both. Now, there's no point going revenge, because, like, revenge ain't going to do much, because you're going to counterattack anyway. This one is great. 13% with Slayer. This one seems like a good option. Just take accuracy instead. I'm going to take this one. Way better. I think I've pretty much got the best possible amulet here. Because again, what do I want as substats? Accuracy. The way to build him is... If you can't get accuracy, like if you can't get like attack percent, go for accuracy. Build him a bit like Rotus. You kind of, with Rotus, put flat HP everywhere you can't get attack percent. You put flat accuracy everywhere you can't get flat attack, where you can't get attack percent. So like this piece here is great. Okay, it's not a set, but there is not another option. Like I could go for this Slayer piece here. It's high resistance, but it would give me more crit damage. I think that's probably going to outweigh... Like, I would lose a lot of accuracy. But that could be a better piece. And the only reason why is it's a set bonus. So it'd give me 15% crit damage. So the way we would work it out is, okay, this one right now has got 43 plus 60, and this has got 10. So I'm going to lose 59 accuracy. Let's just assume I glyph it and I put 10 on it, because I would never use a big glyph on here. Let's just say it's 10 plus 10, so 20, 43 plus 16. I'm losing 59 plus 20. I'm losing about 39 accuracy. Put it, increase accuracy on it, 58.5. So I'm losing right now 19% crit damage, but I would gain 15% back. It's only worth it if I was to get a ring. It wouldn't be worth it. This is better. So we stick with that one. Oh, I took it off, didn't I? Didn't mean to do that. It's actually better because this is going to give me more crit damage overall. The only reason why I would do it is if I could get a third piece in there, and that would give me 5% speed, but even then it's probably not worth it. And then ring here, we can't get accuracy, we can't get anything else, so what are we looking for? We're just looking for the highest attack density. So we're just looking for the best ring that can give us the most amount of attack. Which, you can ideally, it would be a feral piece. If I had a feral ring, it would be well worth it. Because 40 accuracy, it's straight 10% more crit damage, right? That's the thing you got to remember whenever you do it. Pinpoint doesn't give you as much accuracy. 20 accuracy is nothing. 20 accuracy is like 7% crit damage. If you didn't have a better option, you're correct. But feral is the one you want, because feral gives you a big density up front. Or merciless, ideally. Merciless with a lot of something on it. Like, this would be okay. But yeah, pinpoint actually is probably really good. Let me check how that rolls. Watch it roll, not the attack percent. Oh, it did. Triple roll. Oh, it did. Okay. That was disgusting. Attack. Okay, that was disgusting. Yeah, we're using that ring now, by the way. You can see I've just upgraded it. It's a little bit filthy. Okay, so alternate mode, we're going A1, configure, boom, 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 boom. So I've moved accessories, but I haven't actually moved them in the game. So now I can leave the set free. 555, great, great, great. Let's go, full damage. Let's see what we can do. That's what I do, my friends. I get high. Oh, nice, max roll. Okay, so this is what it's recommending. So obviously it's going to rip a lot of pieces off He-Man because I built him with full damage. We're looking at a 264 speed, 6.2k attack, and it's putting it in merciless at the moment. And that's probably because yeah, it's probably okay. We're including all the right stuff. Battle. You know, that's because we're doing this. Great. Yeah. Let me just check. I haven't done anything mistaken. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty much going to be that. Now, obviously, I'd have to break the pony. Which, you know, I could put pony back to his other build for now. Probably waste a bit of silver. I don't know how long's left on my free regearing. It's gone. So, I could basically take these gloves and put them back on here, which it should be on here because, you know, look, I'm just going to prove it. This would basically put me with 6 Merciless, 1 Slayer, 1 Pinpoint. And that is pretty much the strongest build I've got, I think. It's also a decent EHP. His attack seems low, though. Just need to check that the that this has worked correctly, because his attack seems a bit low. I'm pretty sure when I tested it before, it was like 8,000. I'll just check the base numbers. Sometimes it can be a bit quirky. That's better. It just was using the wrong form. Okay, that's more like it. So we can try this. It's going to ruin some builds, but it's worth a try. Right, it's worth a try. We're experimenting. I've got like 10 minutes to experiment this, so we won't be able to do a full run. Okay. Oh, my storage is full. He needs a chest piece back. Did I save his build? I didn't. That was silly. He currently should have Marius's chest piece that Marius stole. He should have that piece at the moment. Marius stole it. So I'm just gonna make some space quickly. Let's put you back into a decent build. protection. Something with speed, a decent amount of speed, that will do. Fine. Right, that should be enough now. I should be able to move it over. Let's just equip. Oh man, come on. I hate this game sometimes. There's never enough space for anything. Oh, I broke him. Oh yeah, because He-Man took his boots. Try on. Equip. Didn't really help me, but I got rid of He-Man stuff. Poor He-Man. He-Man keeps losing his stuff. I built him for experimentation, and I just kind of stopped. Someone needs gear. I'm still working, trying to improve my inventory space. Look, there you go. You can take a bunch of protection gear. Take that. Take that. Take that. Right, now that should be fine. Carnage. Equip. There we go. Let's level this up. Boots kind of need to be attack percent. I don't think I have any dust. Oh, I do. Attack percent. Oh, it baited me. One more. Attack percent. Or speed. Okay, well, that really wasn't what I wanted, but hey. It happens. Just, I mean, at least he's tankier, right? Right. Let's have a look at different glyphing. These are all fine. All fine. Cool. Got the right stuff everywhere. Then I just need to basically put this ring on. Where is it? That one. I mean, let's just give it the full whack. And I need to steal the banner from you, because you do not need to have that banner. Level +2. Can we make it better? All right, well, we'll stick with +3. Oh my god. One more. One more for luck. Here, go with a 4-star. There we go. Can't ascend that anymore because I've run out of oil. So we're a little bit low on accuracy there. This is pretty much maxed out. And then everywhere else, I'm pretty maxed out. You know, I could put a little bit of a HP glyph here. It helps to put a little bit of HP on, like, flat, just to help him stay alive. You know, I'll put a little bit more HP here. Just to give him a bit of EHP, because he is going to die. He's squishy in this alternate form. So the more you can do to, like, tank him up, the better. Don't dismiss the value of these top level flat stats. Ideally you want attack, but, you know, if you haven't got attack and you don't want to waste your dust on it, just give some EHP. He has got the comet, and he's got some of these triangular gemstones. I don't really have an awful lot of triangular or circles at a good value here, to be honest. You know, none of these are really going to help me in this mode. I mean, I could probably bring this one. Whenever I die, I revive, I take 30% less damage. That could be helpful. Doesn't really hurt. But triangular-wise, I've got this. Doesn't really help, to be honest. You know, what he's got is pretty good, which is destroys max HP, and he gets more accuracy for each debuff is on them. I guess. Doesn't really help. I mean, I could absolutely just swap out. The only thing is, removing mythical gems is very expensive. It's like 320. Compare it to like this, which is like 40, so. So yeah, so we just need to run a few masteries quickly just to get him going. Where is he? What was his final build? So without a blessing right now, look how much he's missing. No faction guardians, no empowerment, no blessing, none of these bonuses, no area bonuses. We're at 6.2. Let me just switch to alt form. 8,000 attack, 284% crit damage, 256 speed with 430 accuracy. We're losing accuracy on the chest because it could be accuracy instead of attack, and accuracy here because we haven't got enough. Right, we're losing those things here, and we don't have all the top row. We're just going to get methodical quickly because methodical is 10% more damage. Really, really worth it. I'm not pulling shots today, no. It cost me everything just to get a 5-star Noel. So we just need to blast this quickly. Now, I haven't changed my Marius back to Slayer yet because I want to run a Hydra test on him on auto to see how much damage like it does, because I can repeat that farm. That should give me a better indication if Merciless is better on Marius. Actually, I do need to... I did take Marius's thing, didn't I? I took his gloves. I need to put the gloves back on Marius. That was bad. I'll do that now. Who's better in Arena, Ultimate Death Knight or Necret? Depends on the team, really. Like, Ultimate Death Knight's going to help you stall. Necret's going to help you take a turn. Marius needs crit damage, crit damage. Crit damage. I bet I don't have another one in Merciless, do I? Is that going to be enough? How much do I need? 7%. I should do it. Or I could take Val's one. What do I lose? Actually, that's just been better. It's fine. He's back at it. Back at it. It's alright, Drayden. It was okay. I just had to drain a lot to get her. It's very expensive, that path. How important is 9-piece for Marius? That's what we tested. I mean, I tested it in Chimera just then, and my Slayer build smashed it. Now, it could be I just had a very good run and a very bad run, right? But, I don't know. I was expecting a lot more from Merciless, and it didn't really perform as well. It's much quicker when you got Marius with 100% crit damage. I did the champ training. I actually did Bells as well, even though I didn't mean to, but I accidentally just ended up doing Bells Deck of Fates. But I didn't get the soul because Bells' damage is kind of trash. So, it wasn't worth it. What speed do I have on Slayer? Like 261? Normally on Slayer is 261. Like, obviously, he would be a lot faster in wave content with Slayer because every single time he's A2ing or A1ing, he's getting like so much turn meter. That's why I think, like, unless he's going to do substantially more damage in Merciless, it's quite a big sacrifice to lose the 4-piece bonus from Slayer. Because it's so much utility. Did you make the general gearing guide? No, actually, I want to do it. I kind of, every single time I go to do it, something else comes out, like Relics. Relics has now made it so that we have to do a lot of gear changes, and they are gear defining in some respect, like which ones are best. So I'm a little bit behind where I want to be with those things, but we're updating the website with gearing recommendations and relic recommendations. And we're also adding them to the optimizer. They're a little bit late. I didn't have as much time over the holidays as I was hoping. And they keep adding new stuff to the game, so it's like, it's always fun. You start to do something and just never get around to doing it. So I'm hoping to add the relic video, finalize some different things, and then we can do it. Yeah. Pulled a mythical from Remnants. Nice. Basically 8 primal fusions, the epic. Nice, Jesper. Which mythical did you get? Night Ridden. Yeah, so Nick is super... His multipliers are just super old. Like, you gotta remember, like, the only reason why Taras hits so hard is he gets, like, 200% multiplier. His A2 is, like, 0.8 HP. The same thing with, like, any multi-hitters. Like, for example, Frolny. Frolny's A2 hits so hard because it's, like, a 0.7, 0.8 multiplier. Like, so Nick's 0.2 is really, really small. So his damage is never going to be good. It's like 2021 damage. And that's the same problem with Bells, by the way. The reason why Bells just doesn't hit there is his multipliers are just too weak for what we're seeing from attack-based and defense-based champions. It can't compete because the buffs that you can apply along the multipliers and everything else is just so strong. Any way to incorporate the stat weight and suggestions to optimize it automatically? It's kind of hard because we never know what you want. Like, the optimizer will do what you ask it to, but it's very difficult to simulate. Like, it's not an AI. It's not going to know the best way to do it because it might not be the best way all the time. The best thing we can do is add systems in place that help automate things better for you. I don't really want to make the game play it for you, but I know what you mean. You'd like it to, like, give you some suggestions. Okay, cool. Now I can actually put that in here, which is great. Okay, so just to give you an example of the damage you can do. One of the things I wanted to test was in this build here, if I take out him here and I put Karnage, okay? One of the quick things I wanted to test, and I've only got like 5 minutes invest here, is will the comet work on debuff spreading? Okay? Because right now I've not applied any debuffs. So if I just stack this up a little bit, switch his form in a moment. He's not put any debuffs out. Okay, no debuffs are out. I'm going to switch him straight away. So Comet is meant to give you 30% more damage. We should be able to see that damage reflected here if we were to do the damage reduction, right? So he should be hitting true damage here. So he hits about 150,000. Obviously, it's against weak affinity. But he's not spreading any debuffs. So what I wanted to know was if you spread debuffs, does that count as a debuff placement? And does that increase Comet damage? It should do, theoretically. Now, here's what's great about Karnage and Hydra, by the way. He just keeps popping off damage. Look at this. Just chipping away at it. Popping off damage. And obviously, when we use it with Teox... Now, here's the thing, right? I said about that counterattack blessing. It's very powerful on Karnage when you can get rolling, because it will do a lot of damage. You're already seeing here, we're at 1 million per hit, and we've not put any debuffs out yet. And imagine if I had 6 pieces of Feral on, like 9 pieces of Feral on Riho, we can get another 30% more damage on him. And this is what I was talking about earlier in the stream, which is scaling. How can you scale damage? Well, I can get him to hit already for, you know, 800,000. And he's weak affinity here, so he's doing more damage he's doing less damage overall. I can throw all these debuffs out. Next time I hit this boss over here, I'm gonna do true damage. Of course, it'll double weak hit. That's always fun. Quadruple weak hit. Gotta love that 30% chance that it talks about. I'm just trying to get a bit of a base damage template on a head that I know I can do a bit of good damage to. Yeah, that's it. You can stack it. That's the one that I'm thinking about. If you can get that on a relic that you can get double of them, you're going to do 100% more A1 damage. We're not even getting a good setup here. I'm just basically trying to get the setup first. Now, counter-attacking can be a problem sometimes when you have, like, the Fearhead, but I've got double cleanse in this team, so I can literally just kill the Fearhead very, very quickly, right? I can just do that. Ally attack the Fearhead. Probably will get a lot of fear, but we'll do some damage. Just try to kill the Fearhead as quickly as possible. Can we kill the Fearhead, please? Okay, that's going to be annoying. There's that squishiness, by the way. So what you got to be careful of. He's very squishy, but he does heal very quickly. Right, can we actually get a setup here now? I'm just trying to find a head that I can do a maximum damage potential on. It's just not playing ball right now, which is very fun. The Suffering Head is probably the best one because it's true damage and it's slow. So I'm going to try and get it set up on the Suffering Head. There we go. Right, okay, cool. Let's get a setup test on the Suffering Head. This is a good test bed. Just kill that there. For now, we're just going to get set up first. Okay, increased attack is on for 2 turns. Let's make sure we can't get any cleansing. Okay, so if I A1 here, it won't kill at the head. It'll do a good chunk. Let's see. 1.4 million. And we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're doing true damage. So like 800,000 to 795, okay? So the question we've got now is, if I was to spend a bit of time on his base form spreading debuffs first, can I stack an extra 30% damage? Now, that's a pretty simple test because we had 8 debuffs on Suffering and we did about 1.4. So if I was to get that 30%, it should do about 1.8. So we should be able to see a visible impact. That's the useful thing about Hydra, is the damage numbers are wide enough that we can get a good sample to be able to see a visible difference. Right? It's bigger than the 10% range. So it should be somewhere in the region of 1.8, 1.9 with 8 debuffs on that head with increased attack if it works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend some time just A1ing, debuff spreading. Right? I need to spread about 10 debuffs to get it working. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time on here, spreading some debuffs. Not going to use his A2. I don't want to place any buffs. I only want to spread debuffs. And the only debuffs he can place is the seal. So as long as I just keep A1ing for a bit, it's a good test. It's a good sample. It will make it kind of harder to do this because it's going to take a while to kill these heads, but it should be fine. Boom. I'm going to get a cleanse there. That's always happens. Probably into Poison Cloud. It's fine. This is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. We can bypass Poison Cloud to get rid of the Reflect Head, which is... The Cleanse Head is one I want to get rid of. Now, what I can do here is hopefully spread some burn. The power of debuff spreading in Hydra is very, very useful. Very useful. I'm going to deal with Reflect. Bit of a problem because I don't actually want to kill myself. Because I'll die otherwise. Not much I can really do about that. Teox might die. if he A1s that boss, Teox is dead. I think. Good. Just got to avoid the reflect for a bit. I could use his A2 to basically steal a buff, but I just want to make sure it's not counting with the seal buff. So we're just going to have to wait a few turns for that to go away, but it should be fine. Wouldn't take long. I could absolutely just use his A1, but I think the A1 would kill him, so that's what I'm trying to avoid there. Take a while to get rid of that reflect. I don't want to use the A2 to steal because it will place Master Seal. Oh, we got lucky. We got super lucky. I didn't do enough damage to kill me because I counterattacked. But I don't want to use the A2 because I don't want to trigger Master Seal. That's why I'm not doing it. So now Carnage with Riho is exceptionally good because you basically can spread all the valuable debuffs and not have to bring any other debuffer. It's exceptionally good. Like you can see, I've just spread like block critical, decreased crit rate. I've spread like all sorts of things. It's very, very good. And he counterattacks so often on the base form that often I found that it's better off running him on base form. 9 times out of 10. In Hydra. Because look, whoa, I just spread, whoa. I just spread life. How does this even work? I've just spread Pain Link. How does that even work? How do I even place Pain Link? Alright. This should be interesting. Not entirely sure what any of it does. I'm in a bit of a... my brain is confused by the Pain Link. Okay, cool. So we're set up here now. Let me just kill off this head. So we get a 2 meter reduction. Okay, so now we need to set it all up. So that means Packmaster here. Decrease defense, weaken, brutal. All right, so we needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got more than we had before. One more. That should only be a little bit more damage. Let's have a look how much it's going to do. Oh, we haven't switched form yet. That's dumb. Need to switch form. Okay, switch form. We did about 800 to 900,000 last time. 1.1. It works. So spreading debuffs works. Because that actually did a lot more damage. So you can activate Nature's Wrath. You can activate all of those different effects when you place debuffs. Placing a debuff is the same when you debuff spread as when you actually place debuffs. So in Hydra, it's really, really easy because you can basically sit there for 2 minutes on alternate and just switch to permanent form permanently. We'll just run it through just to verify that concept. Oh man, that's really annoying. Well, we're going to get ruined, probably. There we go. And that's the end of that run. So, that was a good test to know. Debuff spreading counts for your... Yeah, if you look back in the stream call, you'll see what I said. Debuff spreading counts towards Nature's Wrath. Now, it's a bit more awkward here. You can't debuff spread, right? It doesn't work here. But we can put Master Seal on the boss if we want to. Right, so I can give myself like a bit more damage here. That's one debuff. And play around with it. Wait, that's a debuff spread. How can it spread a debuff on itself? It's impossible. Alright, well it did. Now, the only problem here is I have no increased attack in this team. Didn't really think about that. Probably need to find a better way of setting this up with increased attack. So that means that Noelle's going to have to drop out and Duchess is going to have to drop in. But that's fine. We'll take that. We're going to wait one more turn because we have to transform. Just do that to get a bit of a... It's saying debuff spread. How can it debuff spread to nothing? There's no other heads there. It's very strange. We still need to wait one more turn. I will do that. It's debuff spreading nothing. I use Noelle everywhere. Yeah, I've used Noelle everywhere. She's like my arena go-to. I did that wrong. But I needed to block revive. We'll do that one more time. I will swap his form now. I don't like Duchess in the increased attack form. And the reason why is it's a 4-turn cooldown. It's a real problem. But she's just someone I've picked here for the sake of it. Oh, that was nasty. Right, let's switch form. And let's start going at it. Do I have Supreme Aethel? No. I don't know what I don't know what it's spreading. It's spreading something. See, it's awkward when you don't have block buffs because now you give the boss increased speed. He died. They died. And then now it's going to take a while to get back round. I kind of have to do this. Oh wow. That was actually advantageous. It resisted the decreased defense. We'll take that. Her revive is so long. Like, Duchess needs an update. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Duchess needs a buff. She's so old-fashioned. It's actually disgusting. She needs a buff. Her revive is no turn meter. She's on 4-turn cooldowns. Like, she needs a buff. I need a better champion that can give me increased attack with a revive. Because she's just so bad. But I mean, the options are not there. Oh man, Jorg. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, if I had Raka, I'd use it. But you see one of the issues there without the blessing. Because I don't have him with a blessing, he's super, super squishy against this boss. Whereas if I had the blessing, I'd get 650 base defense, an extra 1,000, extra 11,000 HP. it would make him so much safer to use. In the current form, he's just super glass cannon. Like, super glass cannon. Let's get him into his alternate form. Right, let's see what we can do now. I need debuffs out first, so that's why I'm struggling a bit. Right, debuffs. Can we stop with the whole 3%? It's really annoying. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 debuffs. He had Merciless, so this is true damage hits now. I'm not hitting that hard at the moment. And it is because no protection sets. So when I projected it, because I don't have the protection sets, so if I revert it back to his current build now, which is like what? 7825. He's got 442 accuracy. He's currently got 284. We're at 100% ignore defense. We got 15% defense destruction. We don't have protection sets. We don't have feral. We don't have his passive. Wrath Relic is not scaled up, and Nature's Wrath is not on. So in that instance, I'm only doing what I expected to do. Attack. Block debuffs. Boom. Max HP. Like, we've fully got rid of that now. Yeah, 210. There you go, 383, 335. I basically predicted with this build, with increased accuracy on, with everything else, with weaken, 492 to 587. So I need to figure out why I'm gaining more damage than I should. There's a multiplier on my build somewhere that I shouldn't be getting, I guess. Somewhere along the lines. There's a multiplier gain. Could be that I've got too much critical damage. Let's see, B7, 442 times 1. Yeah, it feels like I got too much critical damage. Let's have a look. So if I've got 442 times 1.5, 663. No, it's still about right. 221 plus his base is still about right. Yeah, 505. I must have an extra multiplier in here gaining some value. Oh, no, it's because it's 2 hits, of course. I'm an idiot. No, I'm an idiot. It's 2 hits. So, yeah, if you combine the 2 hits, which he's doing about 330k, if I was just to have single hits here, it would be around about 246 to 246 to 301. So it's hitting my calculator is accurate. It's basically hitting how it wants, but that's the problem because I don't have these multipliers built into his. I don't have the blessing. I don't have wrath. I don't have the amulet scaled up. I don't have all these other blessings. I don't have protection sets in here, right? If Duchess was in full protection, Riho was in feral, those multipliers with a blessing. If we just take his exact build as it is right now, just add in a blessing, add in the accuracy bonus, add in his critical damage bonus that he would get. If I add in the Nature's Wrath at 15%, the Relic at 30%, if I added in 30% Feral Added in 25, let's just say 20% protection. Just say I've got 4 protected buffs because Necmo could go into protection. Get a revive. If I add all these bonuses in, then it would make his A1 do 739 to 900,000 damage per hit. Did he just instantly die again? Or did I just not revive him? But the issue is, he's super squishy. Right? That's the issue. Because you need the soul. And this is why I haven't used him an awful lot in various places at the moment, is because Carnage without the soul is like Doomsday. He's asking to be killed. Right? You're just asking him for him to die. Because look, he'll kill himself. But you will get these things done if you can keep him alive. He'll just kill himself. Oof. But this is what I'm saying is that when you scale him, when you get all those things together, when you put in Foul, Protection, Wrath, put in those blessings, if we added in that relic with the gemstones that gave him 100% more counterattack damage, yes, the counterattack damage will take 75% loss, so you'd have to reduce it. That's a 1.4 to a 1.6 in his current build with just a 5-star blessing. In his current build. So it's not even like if I got better merciless pieces, if I made a better build out of it. That's the difference. Let it transform, and then we'll revive everyone. Dun, dun, dun. Revive. Heal up. Block damage. Boom, boom. So, you know, it's a crazy, if you think about how far you can push it. Right now I'm doing like 200 to 300,000 per hit. I could be doing 1.4 per hit. And that's why I think there is potential for you to push these champions a lot harder. And a free regroup bit just so we can see a bit of a damage here. Oh, I didn't press end battle. I'm going to run this through. I'll post the result on Discord because I've got to dash off. I'm already way overdue. But Carnage, I think, could have value. It won't be so great on this affinity. It's better on a rotation 1 and rotation 4. But I think you can have value. Yeah, they're all on the stages tool, so. Yeah, there's loads of gemstones you can abuse the system with, right? There is quite a lot. There is this sharpened riposte where you deal 50% more damage, right? Move my head a second. This sharpened riposte, you deal 50% more damage when counterattacking. Multi-hits, which means the second hit will ignore 10% more. You can have this. It's pretty optional. There is this for just 10% more damage. There is one for like you gain more damage based on your accuracy. Which one it is? I think it's one of these. Removing buffs. The wearer's accuracy increases by 3 per buff. Pretty good option. Increase the wearer's accuracy by 40 when using termite reduction effects. There's loads of different options, but I would say definitely this one with that is crazy strong for Chimera. Crazy strong with Carnage. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there for this stream. I do need to dash off. I'm going to test these further. I'm going to run my I'm going to run the build that I normally run my Hydra on. He's a bit weak at the moment because I took gear off of him, which kind of is annoying. He's kind of stolen the merciless gear that I normally run him on, because it normally would have this or something else. I think maybe I stole something else from him, like maybe it's Carnage I stole. So I probably need to rebuild this guy a bit. I could probably just put him into that or something. to test it, but I'm going to test Merciless Marius on Hydra, and I will test a full Carnage run, see how well he can do in his current builds. He's a bit tricky because he will die. I need to find a better attack-based champion, really. Someone who can give him, you know, more utility. Don't really know who right now. I need to have a look into that. Who can give him more increased attack, protect him a bit more with a reviver. We'll see. Anyway, short stream today. I'll be back Tuesday, maybe a bit earlier, depending. I got to rebuild my office. Have a good evening, everyone. We are going to start getting more videos out this year. Certainly in January, I want to really push some more videos. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, have a nice evening.